At the time of the recording of this video, we are a little over a week away from the upcoming 2022 NFL Draft. And we are upcoming on that draft, and Baker Mayfield is yet still a member of the Cleveland Browns roster. Now, it does come as a shock to me that Baker Mayfield was not included in the trade package that helped unload Deshaun Watson from the Houston Texans. But the Houston Texans decided against getting Baker Mayfield, and yet he is still a member of the Cleveland Browns. And the Browns have a huge problem on their hands after both the acquisition of Deshaun Watson and the acquisition of backup quarterback Jacoby Brissett. The question that the Browns have to answer are, what are they going to do now with Baker Mayfield? But before I answer that question in today's video and we give some possibilities for the services of Baker Mayfield, make sure you leave this video a like, as it always helps this channel to grow and it helps beat the YouTube algorithm. And as always, if you are a first-time viewer and you enjoy football content, make sure you click that subscribe button and notification bell so you will not miss any of the videos that I post. But let's discuss Baker Mayfield. Without further ado, let's dive into it.
I'm striving to get rich. That's why I almost went 2 years without buying shoes and fits. Things change now. My mom hearing me wear my music and she look a little prouder.
The Cleveland Browns ultimately selected Baker Mayfield coming out of Oklahoma in 2018 at #1 overall to be the quarterback of their future. His rookie season saw a lot of promise with him starting 13 games, throwing for over 3,700 yards, a then rookie record 27 touchdown passes to 14 INTs. 2019 was a little bit of a downfall. He started all 16 games, but the Browns finished 6-10 that year, with him throwing for 22 touchdowns and 21 interceptions. But that 2020 season started to see Baker Mayfield really figure some things out and put things together as he led the Browns to an 11-5 record and the playoff victory over the Pittsburgh Steelers, with him throwing for 3,500 yards, 26 TDs, and only 8 interceptions. But 2021 was his worst statistical season. Even though he spent majority of the year battling injuries, he was still able to throw for over 3,000 yards, 17 touchdowns, and 13 INTs. It would have been perceived that the Browns could have been giving Baker Mayfield another shot to really figure things out, giving him another shot to really prove that he can be the quarterback of their future. But all plans changed when the Cleveland Browns were named one of the teams that Deshaun Watson would have waived his no-trade clause to, and the organization lost faith in Baker Mayfield and ended up trading for Deshaun Watson. Before the trade even happened, Baker Mayfield requested a trade to the Indianapolis Colts, but that never materialized as the Colts decided to go a different direction and trade for Matt Ryan. So with those two trades happening, and with the acquisition of Jacoby Brissett to be the backup, and Baker Mayfield left on his 5th-year option, what are the Browns going to do now with Baker Mayfield? And two teams that I really feel can use the services of Baker Mayfield come immediately to play. The first team that comes to mind that could use Baker Mayfield's services is the Seattle Seahawks. The Seattle Seahawks have had their own quarterback issues this offseason with the trading of Russell Wilson to the Denver Broncos, and in return, the Seahawks received quarterback Drew Lock. Now, if you're an OG of this channel or if you're brand new, I will make this pretty clear. Drew Lock is not going to be a long-term answer in Seattle. And Baker Mayfield has a better shot, in my opinion, to be the long-term answer at the quarterback position for the Seattle Seahawks than Drew Lock. Baker Mayfield has the toughness. Baker Mayfield has the moxie. He's shown that he can be a very serviceable quarterback in this league. And with the Seattle Seahawks making so many different moves over the past couple of seasons to appease Russell Wilson, and now Russell Wilson is now gone, i.e. the moves to acquire Jamal Adams, the move to get DK Metcalf in the 3rd round of the draft, they put pieces around this team that can service a better quarterback than Drew Lock. I do not believe Drew Lock is going to be the quarterback of the Seattle Seahawks future. Drew Lock is definitely not going to be the answer. He is a better backup quarterback, in my opinion, than he is a starter. And things did not work for Drew Lock with the Denver Broncos, and I don't see much changing with the Seattle Seahawks. Now, the Cleveland Browns did give up on Baker Mayfield, but I think he comes into this Seattle Seahawks situation and he can keep this Seahawks team afloat, assuming that they still are in a position where they want to win now. Of course, you have head coach Pete Carroll, who is getting up there in age, and it seems like his time is going to be very limited as the Seattle Seahawks coach. So why would you put Drew Lock out there on the field and get them in a bit of a rebuild versus you can have a guy like Baker Mayfield where you can still be a very competitive team, where you can still have chances to make the playoffs with Baker Mayfield's ability to make plays not only in the pocket but outside the pocket with guys like Lockett, DK Metcalf at your disposal. Even though the Seattle Seahawks did lose a ton of players this offseason, I still believe that they can be a very competitive team and possibly compete for a playoff spot if they were to add a guy like Baker Mayfield versus keeping Drew Lock as their quarterback. So Baker Mayfield coming to the Seattle Seahawks roster can keep them in a position where they can compete right now in 2022. And if things change, you still are on that fifth-year option, so you're not giving Baker Mayfield a ton of money. So you do have the option, if things don't work out, to really start to rebuild this franchise, and Pete Carroll is probably going to be out the door by then. So you're going to have that window of rebuilding if the things with Baker Mayfield do not work out. The team I have with the most realistic situation to acquire Baker Mayfield, and he will be productive, is the Carolina Panthers. Now, Robbie Anderson has come out against an acquisition of Baker Mayfield, but I believe he's 100% a better option than Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold, up to this point of his career, has not proven that he can have any bit of consistent success as a quarterback. Baker Mayfield brings, I think, a bigger upside to this Carolina Panthers roster than you do keeping Sam Darnold in the fold. Now, it does look like the Carolina Panthers are going to have a plan to draft either Kenny Pickett or Malik Willis in this upcoming draft. But I've said this before, I don't think either quarterback in this year's draft is going to be ready to start now. And you have a Carolina Panthers organization who has head coach Matt Rule having pressure on him to win right away and to be a competitive football team because he is in his third year as the Carolina Panthers head coach. And we all know in this league, you do not get very many opportunities to A, not make the playoffs, and B, consistently be one of the bottom teams in your division. So they have that pressure on Matt Rule. Sam Darnold is definitely not going to be the guy to help bring them there. Whatever quarterback they're going to draft in this year's draft is not going to be a guy that brings him there. And I think you bring a guy like Baker Mayfield into this Carolina Panthers offense, along with Christian McCaffrey, DJ Moore, and if Robbie Anderson can get out of his own feelings, if the Panthers were to acquire a guy like Baker Mayfield, and you have a solid offensive line with Cameron Irvin and Pat Elflein, you do have potential for this Carolina Panthers roster to be a whole lot better with Baker Mayfield than you would with Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold has proven that he is a struggle-filled quarterback. He has not proven that he can lead a team consistently. He has moments, but he has not proven that he can take a team to the playoffs like Baker Mayfield did with the Cleveland Browns in 2020. And I believe if Baker Mayfield were not extremely injured in the 2021 season, I still believe that Cleveland Browns team could have made the playoffs with Baker Mayfield healthy. So you bring a healthy Baker Mayfield to a Carolina Panthers offense that features Chubb Hubbard, Christian McCaffrey in the backfield, DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson and Rashad Higgins to help. I believe that you have a better chance of being competitive in a division where the Saints are probably going to have to take a fall. The Falcons are definitely taking a fall. The Bucs still remain the cream of the crop in that division. But you bring a guy like Baker Mayfield, they do have an opportunity to overtake the Falcons and overtake the Saints and possibly compete better for a playoff spot than you would keeping Sam Darnold and drafting a guy that's probably going to have some playing time, because Sam Darnold is just not going to be the guy at the quarterback position for the Panthers. So even if they do decide to take a quarterback, you can still bring Baker Mayfield in as an opportunity to get this roster over some type of a hump than you would with Sam Darnold. At the end of the day, there are still a lot of questions to be answered, and I don't think any of the questions about Baker Mayfield are probably going to get answered until right around draft night, April 28th. So the Browns, up until then, I think are going to take their time with the move for Baker Mayfield, try to see if they can get the right pieces back in return. And if things fall into place on draft night, I think that is a time where you can see Baker Mayfield finally be unloaded from the Cleveland Browns. But hey, those are just my thoughts on Baker Mayfield. Make sure you guys leave this video a like, as it helps this channel to grow, beats the YouTube algorithm. Comment your thoughts down below with your opinions on Baker Mayfield. And as always, click that subscribe button and notification bell so you will not miss any of the content that I post on this channel. But that is going to do it. APW Sports signing out. Make sure you guys stay safe. Have a great and excellent day. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.